Right. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome. We are just going to get started in a couple of minutes. We'll let some folks trickle in. All right, we can get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Kenny Allard. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm the Assistant Director for Orientation and Student Onboarding here at Bentley. We are so excited to have you all here for our Falcon Live Chat series with Student Financial Services. So, before I hand it over to our two awesome guests, I'm just going to share a little bit about our new Falcon experience. So the Bentley University New Falcon experience is more than an onboarding process. It's a holistic journey designed to empower students at every step by focusing on academic, social, and personal development. So we ensure each student is equipped to excel, engage, and make the most out of their university years. So some of you may have received emails, if not all of you, on the math placement within the last couple of days. So definitely keep an eye out for that email so you all can take that. And I am going to turn it over to Sherry and James.
Hi, everyone. I'm James McGeehee. I'm the Director of Financial Assistance, and I'll let Sherry introduce
Oh,
herself as well.
sorry. Hi, I'm Sherry Spencer. I'm the Associate Director of Student Accounts.
All right, and we're going to be talking about how you can determine your educational costs, some funding options and opportunities, and then last, going over the billing statement and how you actually pay your tuition. So first we'll go over educational costs. So the cost of attendance for the 2025-2026 academic year is on the screen. So you have the direct billed costs, which are what you're going to see on your billing statement each fall and spring semester. And that includes tuition, housing and food, which is your residence hall and meal plan, if you're an on-campus student, the student activity fee, and then you have indirect expenses. So these are things that are not billed to you directly by Bentley University. You're not going to see them appear on your billing statement, but there are costs that you might incur in order to attend school, like the cost of books for your classes and supplies, and personal expenses, things for your residence hall, money for pizza, things like that. So those make altogether the direct costs, and the indirect costs make up your cost of attendance for the academic year. Right. We'll talk about some ways that you can cover those costs that are not financial aid provided by the university. So the first option, so there's really four different categories that we'll talk about: outside scholarships, federal loans, private and alternative loans, and then international resources for non-US citizens. So the first type of option that you might have is outside scholarships. And outside scholarships are resources that you apply for from outside of Bentley. So these would be things through search engines like the ones listed here on the screen, FastWeb, CapEx. There's a lot that are not listed here, and there's a lot of research that you can do online to find outside scholarship opportunities. Most of these platforms allow you to create a profile about yourself and then help match you with scholarships that fit the information on your profile. So, the more information that you can put together about yourself on your profile, the better these search engines do at matching you to available opportunities. And then I also encourage students and their families to look for scholarships locally as well. So through your city or town, your high school, local businesses, maybe your mom or dad's companies that they work for might have scholarship opportunities. So there's a lot of ways that you can find scholarships locally that don't involve these like big national search engines. And a lot of times our students find the most success looking at scholarships locally through organizations that they're connected with. So we always encourage students to apply through those. And then any scholarships that you receive, we can apply towards your billing statement to help reduce your costs. For students who are U.S. citizens or permanent residents, as part of the financial aid process, when you complete a FAFSA, you're automatically awarded federal direct loans. And these loans are taken out in the student's name. They're not in the parent's name. No credit check is required as long as you complete the FAFSA and meet the qualifications for federal student aid. You're automatically awarded federal direct loans. For the 25-26 school year, Congress has just set the rate on that loan for 6.39%. And that is a fixed interest rate through the life of the loan, so it will never go up or down. With federal direct loans, you do not have to make any repayments while you're in school. In fact, you will not start repaying your loans until 6 months after you graduate or stop attending school at least half time. And the federal government has a variety of different repayment plans that you can utilize to make payments on those loans after graduation, including some that are based on the income that you make after graduation. For first year students, there is a limit of $5,500 in federal direct loans. For second year students, that goes up to $6,500. And then in your third and fourth year, that increases to $7,500. Federal direct loans have both a subsidized and an unsubsidized component. So if you're awarded a subsidized loan, up to $3,500 can be subsidized in the first year, 45 in the second year, and 55 in the third and fourth years. And then there are limits over your lifetime in terms of how much you can take out in federal direct loans. But these are great options for helping to cover a portion of your bill. And if you've already completed a FAFSA or financial aid, these were included as part of your financial aid package, and you'll see them as credits on your billing statement. In order to accept these loans and make sure that they pay towards your account, you do have to complete a master promissory note, which is your agreement to repay the loans, and do entrance counseling. Entrance counseling is about a 25 to 30-minute online program that teaches you a little bit about these loans and what you're getting into and what the repayment looks like so that you understand before you sign that master promissory note and agree to repay these loans. Another federal loan option that is available is the Parent Plus loan. And the Plus loan is available to parents of undergraduate students who are U.S. citizens or eligible non-citizens, so generally permanent residents. You have to complete a FAFSA for the student in order to qualify for a Plus loan. So we have to package you normally for financial aid before you complete a Plus application. One parent is the borrower on the Plus loan. And the federal government is not looking for any particular credit score in order to approve a parent for a plus loan. They're looking to see if you have any adverse credit history or not. And if you do not have any adverse credit history, like judgments or liens, bankruptcies, things of that nature, then you should be approved for the plus loan. You can take out up to Bentley's cost of attendance for the year, less any other financial aid awarded to the student. And the plus loan has a fixed interest rate of 8.4%. So again, that interest rate will stay the same through the life of the loan. And parents have multiple options for repayment of these loans. They can begin doing repayment immediately, or they can do a deferment and start making repayment after the student has graduated from college. Other loan options that are available to families would be private loans. we use a site called ElmSelect, elmselect.com, to aggregate information about various private loans in one place. So this is sort of a preferred lender list from Bentley. So these are loans that Bentley students take fairly frequently. We know that all of these lenders will treat you fairly and be good to work with. You are not required to pick a lender that's on this site. You could use a lender that's not shown there, but these are a great place to start researching. You can see a lot of different loan options in one place without having to Google separately a bunch of different loan companies. And Elm Select lets you compare a lot of the basic information about these loans in one spot: the interest rates, repayment terms, any special benefits. Some of these loans are eligible for international students, so you don't have to be a domestic student for all of these loans. And pretty much all of the loans will allow international students to take them if they have a US-based cosigner. Private loans are taken out in the parent's name or the student's name or some combination. The maximum that you can borrow is Bentley's cost of attendance less any financial aid. And so that's similar to the Plus loan. And there's a lot of great information here. Borrowers have a lot of new and interesting features on their loans. So there's co-payment or cosigner release. So you may cosign a loan as a parent for your student to get them a loan while they have no credit history and couldn't get a loan otherwise. And then a cosigner release allows you to take your name off that loan after so many payments are made on time. So there's a lot of really great options out there if you're looking at private loans. One thing to keep in mind with private loans is that they are looking generally for a certain level of credit score. So it may be more difficult to obtain a private loan than a plus loan. And then the other thing to really keep in mind with the plus loan versus private loans, if you're trying to choose between the two, is that the plus loan includes a large origination fee. It's over 4%. So that comes right off the top of the loan instead of going towards the student's account to pay their bill. Most private loans do not have an origination fee. So if you take out a $20,000 private loan, all $20,000 of that goes towards the student's account rather than a portion going to pay an origination fee. Last, we have some resources for international students. NAFSA, NAFSA.org has great information about cost, tax information, scholarships, all things that you might need to consider as an international student. Edupass.org and scholarsfordev.com also have information for international students, and you might find those resources helpful as you start your enrollment at Bentley.
Okay, thanks, James. I'll take it from here. I'm going to discuss the billing and paying your tuition process. So I know James provided you with the cost of attendance, an estimated cost of attendance. You can view the actual rate sheet on our student account website, and that'll give you a breakdown of the tuition, all the different dorm rates, meal plan rates, parking, decal rates, and so forth. So students are the main people that are being contacted for the student account. It's under the student's name. We realize that 90% of the time it's a parent, guardian, grandparent that's funding their tuition. So in order for us to be able to discuss the account with those people, parents and so forth, students must set them up with third-party access. That provides them, the student provides us permission to discuss their account with these third-party users. They can also grant permissions based on what they want the access to have. That would be viewing the statements, creating a PDF statement, and making online payments. So if a parent calls and they have questions about the bill, we are not able to discuss that in detail unless they are set up as a third-party user. So it's very important you have the students provide that access. Our fall billing will be done around July 8th. Once all of our billing is processed and charges have been posted, an email will go out to all students and third-party users notifying them that the bills are ready to be viewed. We do recommend that the students continue to monitor their student account throughout the semester, just in case there's any changes, whether it's financial aid or they had a parking decal go on, anything like that, that would not be on the statement that was printed at the time that the billing was done. Statements are done in real time. So like I said, if you look at the account later, the difference could be basically changes in financial aid. It increased, or maybe you received an outside scholarship that wasn't on the original statement. That won't be reflected on the statement that you printed out. So sometimes you will call with questions on the statement and we're not seeing the same thing you are, and that could be due to some changes on the account. So we highly recommend that the students monitor their account throughout the semester. Past due holds will be placed on unresolved accounts 14 days after the due date, which is August 5th, and a $100 late payment fee is charged 30 days after the due date. Next slide. Here's a sample of our billing statement. It'll show the student ID, the semester, academic period, and the date range for the semester. On the right, you'll see balance from this period, balance from past or future periods, and then your total balance due. It lists all the charges first, and then any payments and credits that were received, anticipated payments, which is usually any financial aid that was awarded that we know is coming in, but we haven't received the funds yet. We just have it listed as an anticipated payment so that it can reflect your balance. So you see the 15,372 less the 2,050 gives you a total balance due of 13,322. If the student receives any refunds, they will be listed down under the refund category. Bentley offers one payment plan. It's a semester plan. Only the students have access to enroll in the plan. Third-party users can view the breakdown of the payments and make the online payments once the student has enrolled in the plan. The fall plan is a maximum of 4 installments, August through November, depending on when you enroll in the plan. So first payment would be due on August 15th. However, if you enroll on August 17th, you will have 3 installments for your payment plan, September through November. And then if you enroll in September, you would, after September 15th, you'd only have 2 installments, October and November. It's an interest-free plan, and there's a $35 charge, that enrollment fee charge to your account when you enroll in the plan. The enrollment is a 2-step process. Students go online through their Workday portal. They'll hit the submit when they want to enroll in the payment plan, and then they'll receive a notification in their inbox notifying them that they must agree to the terms and conditions to officially be enrolled in the plan. They want to pay attention to this. So say they enroll in the plan on August 10th, however, they don't complete the terms and conditions until August 20th, they're going to lose a whole installment payment. The plan will only become active once they complete the terms and conditions of the plan. Past due holds and late payment fees of $20 will be charged for any late payments. And this is not a payment plan that carries over into each semester. You must re-enroll into the payment plan every semester. Payment methods. E-check payments can be done online through the Workday portal. There is no additional fee. We do accept credit card payments. You can make that payment online through Workday. However, there is a convenience fee paid to the payment processor. Domestic cards is a 2.95% fee, and international cards is a 4.25% fee. Paper checks can be mailed to this address. We just ask that you please include the student ID number so we can ensure that the payment is processed to the correct student account. All wire payments, domestic and international, will go through Flywire. It's a pretty easy process. You just log on to that. You initiate a payment and then you go to your bank and have them send the payment to Flywire. All the forms will be provided to you. We are the first school to accept cryptocurrency and such as Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. These payments can be made online directly on the student account website under payment options. If the student has a credit balance on their account, they can request a refund. We ask that they wait until there's an actual credit balance on the account, and then they can follow the two-step process. So first they would go and submit their refund elections, and these links can help you with step-by-step instructions. So they'll submit the refund elections with their banking information so that we can process the refund as a direct deposit. And then the second step is they will create the refund request, and pretty basic. The link will provide step-by-step instructions as well. You go to the top of your search engine on your Workday page and just type in create request and follow the steps. Health insurance. The Commonwealth of Massachusetts has strict guidelines and they require all domestic students registered 3/4 time or more have comparable health insurance coverage. So to ensure we're in compliance, students will be billed $2,678 on their fall billing statement. The students will be required to submit an online waiver or enrollment form with university health plans. All international and other non-US residents are automatically enrolled in the student health insurance plan. Students that feel that they have comparable US employer or government-based insurance can contact university health plans directly to request an international waiver form. You can submit an online waiver at University Health Plans, and once you submit an approved waiver, the charge will be removed from your account. You would submit it if you want to enroll in the plan, which is a great plan. I highly recommend it. You would submit an online enrollment form through University Health Plans. Your coverage would begin on August 1st and will end on July 31st, 2026. Any questions about any benefit information you can find online at universityhealthplans.com. Please note that failure to submit a waiver or enrollment form will result in automatically being enrolled in the student health insurance plan, and you will be responsible for the cost. And that was it. I hope we answered any questions you may have. If not, please feel free to reach out to us. I know we threw a lot of information at you. Here's our contact information, and at any time, don't hesitate to contact us.
Sherry, it does look like there's a couple questions.
Oh,
So the first question is, when can students sign up for the payment plan? Now or July or August?
once they receive their billing statement or notification that the bills are ready to be viewed, they can go ahead and enroll in the payment plan. So that should be on or around July 8th. And the health insurance, so the health insurance would be paid through Bentley. It'll be on their bill, so they would pay it with the rest of the tuition bill. And they can make credit card payments.
Awesome. If, oh, one more question.
How can we apply for a loan if we have to wait for a bill in July? So we can you can see our estimated costs online. The cost for first year students is pretty standard. Tuition, student activity fee, new student fee, and then the cost for your housing and meal plan. Most first year students are in a standard two-person room and have a standardized meal plan. So you can estimate how much you would need based on the standard cost of attendance. But you could also wait until your bill's available in July to apply for the loan. Many students do.
Okay. But if you make a payment to your student account with a credit card, there are convenience fees. I'm not sure if that's the question you're asking. So it would also be applied through with the health insurance as well. If you want to enroll with the health insurance and you make a credit card payment to your student account, the convenience fees would apply. You can send in a tuition payment for what you estimate the full year will be. Just keep in mind that things can change. Usually the spring semester or the second semester is a little bit less than it is for the first semester, more, I mean, than it is for the first semester. The first semester, you typically have your enrollment deposit applied as a payment. There's just no guarantee that it's going to be the same. So we don't really recommend it, but if you want to, absolutely, you can do that. We'll just carry it over. They do not, you want to check with your company, your insurance carrier, because typically they don't cover emergency rooms and so forth within so many miles, or doctor's visits within so many miles from the state you have the insurance in. There will be a list of questions on the waiver form. So you can go to the waiver form and go to the questions, and it will let you know right away if your insurance meets the guidelines.
Awesome. If there are no other questions, thank you all so much for coming to our live chat. We also have a wonderful feature called the new Falcon question form on our Bentley website. So if you have any further questions, you are more than welcome to utilize that feature. And thank you so much to our wonderful panelists today. And can't wait to see you all in the fall. All right. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.